So, this is my Raw review from last night on May 9th, 2016. As usual, I got my notes because, yeah. They started the show. Jericho came out because Stephanie had reinstated the highlight reel and got rid of the Ambrose Asylum. Jericho, he began the show, came out. The announcers were talking about Stephanie and talking about Jericho killing Mitch the Plant and everything last week. Jericho has Mitch's remains on his stool. Jericho's talking a bunch of shit. He shows a bunch of tweets that everyone had sent out in memoriam for Mitch the Plant. And he talks more shit, and then Big Cass comes out. And then Cass talks shit about the highlight reel and Jericho, and Cass talks about how it's, the new era. That's all everyone talks about. It's the new era, and how they've arrived. So basically, they need to call the show something, like Mr. McMahon presents Triple H presents NXT presents WWE, because that's like, they're just so focused on all the NXT guys now. But anyway, Big Cass challenges Chris Jericho to a fight, and yeah, so Big Cass, calls Jericho soft. Jericho leaves the ring and then gets mad because Big Cass called him soft, and he comes running to the ring and gets a big boot to the face and gets kicked out of the ring. He goes backstage and he's crying to Stephanie about it, and Stephanie is being all friendly, and agreeing with Shane. Anyway, Stephanie's taking Shane's side and makes the main event with Jericho versus Big Cass for the main event tonight, because that was Shane's idea and Stephanie agrees with it. And then they have Ziggler versus Baron Corbin. Ziggler, he's coming out on top. Corbin slides out of the ring. They go back and forth outside the ring. Ziggler puts Corbin in the crowd, calls him back into the ring. Corbin gets in control. Ziggler is trying to come back after some back and forth. There was a botch. It looked like a botch, but I think they kind of sold it that Ziggler was too weak to get thrown in the corner by Corbin. They both hit some finishers. Each of them kicks out, and then Corbin hits the end of days and wins the match. And then they had their really interesting match with R-Truth versus Fandango. And, it's beginning with all the crazy jealousy with, Goldust being jealous that Tyler Breeze gets to hang out with R-Truth, and Fandango's jealous that Goldust is jealous of Tyler Breeze, and anyway, yeah, it just kind of, the guys are trying to impress their partners, and then R-Truth winds up winning, and the love affair continues between Goldust and R-Truth. So I guess that's how we have that going on. Then Owens is fighting with The Miz and Cesaro backstage, talking to Shane and Stephanie. Sami Zayn shows up, and Stephanie makes the match a triple threat between The Miz, Cesaro, and Kevin Owens, but Shane says that Sami Zayn can get in there and make it a four-way if he beats The Miz. So yeah, they have a match with they're going to have a match with Sami Zayn versus The Miz. Stephanie and Shane start talking about how nice it is that they're getting along, and yeah, Stephanie definitely has something going on because she's just being too friendly, going along with everything. But anyway, we go to this match with Charlotte versus Paige, and Ric Flair's banned from ringside, and Natalia's sitting at ringside doing commentary. Natalia wants everybody to follow her Kitty Two Paws on Instagram, and yeah, I'm not on Instagram, so I don't know. But anyway, Charlotte gets cocky and gets hit outside the ring. Charlotte gets up and starts dominating back in the ring. They go back and forth. They have some post falls. There was a really good superplex by Paige to Charlotte, and Charlotte kicked out of it. Charlotte went for a pin and had her feet up on the ropes, and yeah, the ref caught her having her feet up on the ropes, and then Ric Flair came out, and then and then Charlotte goes for a pin on the distraction, but Shane comes out with security and takes Ric Flair away, and then Paige wins with that distraction. So Paige wound up winning the match against Charlotte, and Charlotte's all confused and unhappy and scared looking and all that stuff. So she looks all pissed off and worried that she can't win the match without Ric Flair. And then we have the Sami Zayn versus Miz match. Miz has Maurice with him. JBL gets worked up over knowing the Miz and other celebrities like Beyonce, and there's a lot of back and forth in the beginning of the match. Sami Zayn gets in control. He hits the Miz outside. Maurice comes and saves him. Miz tries to take control, but Sami Zayn reversed a throw into the barricade with a backflip and took out the Miz. It did a moonsault, but the Miz gets a hold of Sami Zayn and drops him mouth first on the steps outside the ring. Sami makes it in for the 10 count. Miz goes to work. There's some back and forth and some kickouts. Miz puts in a figure 4. Sami makes it to the ropes and escapes. There's some shenanigans going on with Maurice and all that. And Sami Zayn manages to come out of it and win the match. So Sami Zayn won. Then they're backstage. They're talking to Becky about Evil Emma poking her in the eyeball. Emma shows up and basically tells her, she needs to not worry about getting poked in the eye, and she needs to get eyes in the back of her head. And then Dana Brooke comes up and hits Becky from behind. So then they talk a bunch of smack to her because Becky's on the ground hurt. And then they go to a commercial, and we have a little promo where Darren Young is asking Bob Backlund to be his life coach. And it was really a strange segment because, Bob Backlund agrees to be his life coach, but then they have this whole thing going on where it's like, make Darren Young great again. And so, like, they're totally, like, satiring fucking Donald Trump's fucking whole, campaign gimmick. But yeah, so we got to make Darren Young great again, and Bob Backlund's going to help him do it. So yeah, and then we have a little Pizza Hut promo with various wrestlers, and then Zack Ryder's talking to Shane, and Shane Zack Ryder's talking to Shane. Owens interrupts. Shane tells them that if Zack can beat Owens, Zack Ryder gets his place in the 4-way match. So basically, I guess the match between Becky Lynch and Evil Emma just ended during the commercial or something, because they went to a commercial break with Becky and Evil Emma, and they were out there fighting, and yeah, so I guess they just kind of moved on from that. But and now they move right on to the Usos and Reigns backstage, where they're talking about fucking AJ Styles and the club and all that. Then from that they move right on to Sin Cara going to the ring with Kalisto to fight Rusev. Sin Cara basically gives out some flashy moves, but Rusev basically just dominates. Lana and Kalisto both cause a distraction. And Sin Cara managed to win the damn match against Rusev. So that was interesting. And then we move on to a little promo with Primo and Epico, and they're coming back next week. And then we have Reigns and the Usos versus Styles and the Club. It's an elimination match, so the whole thing starts where there's lots of teamwork and lots of tags and lots of back and forth. And then, like, right away, all of a sudden, Jey Uso gets eliminated. And then Gallows and Anderson are, messing up the whole group dynamic, trying to tell AJ, yeah, man, we got this. And they tag themselves in, and AJ's just kind of like, what the hell, and winds up getting kicked in the head because of Gallows doing something, and he had a misstep, and AJ got kicked, and then, AJ gets knocked down, and Gallows and Anderson start doing some tag, and then all of a sudden, Anderson gets eliminated. And then Jimmy Uso is eliminated. So it's just Styles and Gallows alone with Reigns. Then Gallows just gets eliminated. And then AJ goes after Reigns. They're outside the ring. AJ winds up getting thrown over the announcer table by Roman. He gets thrown over the announcer table. Roman's going to put AJ through the announcer table because he's mad that AJ was going to put him through the table. And before that happens, here comes Anderson and Gallows and the Usos all again, and they start having a big old battle. Reigns spears everyone. AJ goes for the Styles Clash on a chair, and Reigns manages to escape it, and they have kind of a face-off, and Reigns kind of drops the chair in front of AJ and says that he doesn't need the chair, and AJ kicks it back to him and goes for a phenomenal forearm, and Reigns ducks, and AJ just kind of rolls out of the ring and gets away. So, yeah. That's how that went. And then we have Ryder versus Owens. Owens is dominating. He's throwing Ryder out of the ring. He tells Cole to watch this. And he goes for a ring apron powerbomb on the outside of the ring, of course. And Ryder gets away. Zack Ryder wound up actually having like 2 near falls right away. And Owens kept kicking out of him. And he goes for a third, and Owens gets away. And then Ryder goes for a top rope elbow. And Ryder goes for a top rope elbow and just gets super kicked by Owens. Then he does the pop-up powerbomb, and Owens wins. And then we have good old Renee Young. She's talking to Big Cass about Jericho, and Cass devotes the match to Enzo and takes that chance to flirt with Renee Young a little bit. So I don't blame him there. And then we have the New Day. They come out, and they're talking shit about the vaudevillains, and they praise their majestic bootio. They have their giant bootio, and they are praising him. And while they're talking about the vaudevillains, they just make a hint of a reference towards slavery, talking about the vaudevillains being from a different time when certain things were going on, and they turn it right around and they're talking about vaudevillains are coming from a time where they didn't have smartphones. So they're not smartphone users. And then here come the Dudleys to fight the New Day. They're fighting Big E and Kofi. They're just fighting back and forth. There's a unicorn stampede. The New Day starts celebrating. And then the vaudevillains come and interrupt. And the Dudley boys win due to disqualification. And the vaudevillains beat down the New Day. And they leave. So then we have Jericho versus Big Cass. Jericho comes out, and gets jumped by. He's mad because his jacket's missing. So Jericho comes out and gets jumped by somebody wearing his jacket. And that guy goes to the ring, and it turns out to be Dean Ambrose with his light up jacket. And Jericho's livid. He's throwing a temper tantrum. Dean Ambrose goes into the ring and starts destroying Chris Jericho's jacket. And Jericho's yelling in dispute, and he runs in the ring, and Ambrose beats him up. Jericho kind of comes back, but he's sad about his jacket. Then Big Cass comes in, and Cass beats up Jericho and sends Jericho to Ambrose, and then Ambrose does the dirty deeds on him. Then Ambrose starts destroying Jericho's jacket again with a pair of scissors, and that's how that whole thing basically ended. And then we move into Shane and Stephanie. They're laughing about it, and he basically questions Stephanie's new attitude and why she's being so friendly. And she just says, it's, she's happy that they can work together, and she's just happy to be part of the team and bring the WWE into a new era. And Shane's just happy to hear that, and he walks away. And then you see Stephanie just kind of staring at the framed photo of Mr. McMahon and Little Shane when he was a kid. And so yeah, Stephanie's got some shit going on. But yeah, that's how Monday Night Raw went down. So anyway, I'll leave you all alone now. Have a good day, and I'll talk to you again later. Bye.